What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. So today's project, we've kind of got something a little different and something I haven't shown you before, so I figured I would. We're gonna get this bed off of this truck and put onto another one. So I'm gonna show you how to do it, and you get to watch me struggle a little bit because I gotta shuffle a lot of things around in order to do this job. But let's get right into it. All right, everybody, so we're gonna get the white bed off of the truck first, and then we'll get the black bed off, and then we'll switch them. So if you've never pulled one of these beds before, the 8-foot beds have 8 bolts holding them on. The 6-foot beds have 6 bolts holding them on. The wire connections are the same, and the fuel fill connections are the same. So I'm gonna get the wire connections and the fuel fill off first, and then we'll get the bed bolts out. I've almost always seen the wire connector bulkhead here is almost always mounted to the bed, and you've got 4 connectors on it. The black one is for your passenger side tail light. The gray one is for your driver's side tail light. The blue one is the truck side connector, so you remove that. The white one is your tag lights, bumper lights, that sort of stuff. So you can leave your 2 tail light connectors hooked on if they're staying with the bed, and that's all the electrical you need to undo. Now the next part is the fuel filler. The easiest way I know of and how I usually disconnect these, you've got 2 T30 bolts here at the top, and then the little plastic push lock connector here at the bottom. You take those 2 bolts off, you get that plastic push lock connector out, and then that leaves your little fuel fill thing here floating behind the bed, so that's disconnected also. I have seen on some of these trucks there's a ground connected to the back of this. Most of them I see it's already corroded off and disconnected, but check yours. If that ground is still back there, make sure you get that undone as well. And there we go. We've got our Torx T30s off. We've got that little plastic push connector undone. So now our fuel fill is loose from the bed. Now we're ready to get our bed bolts out. The first one is right up at the front of the bed at the first cross member, right in here. I really recommend you wear some kind of safety goggles or something, because it is about to rain rust and dirt and everything else down off of this thing. The second bolt is a little further back, right above the front of your leaf spring hanger. Oh. All right, that one we're gonna have to cut. The next one is right here, next to the spare tire. And the fourth one is at the very back, right below the back of the bed. And it's the same on both sides. Well, we have some good news, bad news. Good news is 6 of the bed bolts came out. The bad news is 2 of them didn't. So, I'm a big fan of the old motto, it can't be stuck if it's liquid. But I'm just gonna melt the heads off the bolts with the acetylene torch, and that'll free it up that I can lift the bed up off the truck. There we go, that shut the head off of that one, so it should lift up and off. The other is inside the frame rail by the tire. I'm not gonna be able to give you a good angle on that, so I'm just gonna cut it off. Okay, I got the heads melted off those last 2 bolts that didn't come out. I went ahead, I need to pull the rear out of this truck anyway, so I torched the U-bolts and got that out of there. The last thing I'm gonna do before this truck is ready is get the rear bumper off. You don't have to do this to remove the bed, but it gives you more room to work and it makes it a little bit easier. And the rear bumpers are just held on with a couple 21, 15, and 18mm bolts. All right, everybody. The bed is ready to come off of this thing. All I need to do is lift it up and off. But before I do that, I'm gonna get the truck itself, what's left of it, up onto the trailer. Ta-da! That's how I get a truck with no wheels up onto a trailer. Okay, so I've got the other truck up, ready to go. Gonna get this bed off, and then we'll get the other bed swapped on. Same process as removing the other bed. Got the black bed off. I'm just gonna tidy up a little bit, knock some of the loose rust off of everything, make sure that there's nothing else obvious under here that needs to be repaired. You can see the ground on this one was rusted off, so I'll get that ground replaced with the one from the other truck. We've got pretty bad rust here in this fuel tank cross member, so I'm gonna take a picture of that and make sure I can show that to my buddy. But it's interesting. This truck in some places just has really, really bad rust. But in some of the more common places to rust, it's not rusted at all. It's weird. There was no bed left in that other bed. The bed floor was completely gone. You can see underneath, I mean, most of the support rails are just hanging off of it. There's, you know, they're hardly even connected anymore. So we'll get the white bed back around here. We'll finish knocking all the loose rust and scale off of this, and then we'll fix those two, the two captured nuts that spun on the other bed, and then we'll get this thing put back together. So before I sit this down on here, I need to get those two bolts out where the captured nuts were spinning. So this one here, you see I've got a good bit of bolts still poking out, and I can see the captured nut spinning. So I should be able to just throw a little bit of weld on here to hold that captured nut, and that heat should help to release the bolt also. And I'll do the same thing on this one over here. Throw a little weld to keep it in place, and then I should hopefully be able to get the rest of that bolt out of there. Okay, so my welder won't reach all the way out to here. So what I'm gonna have to do is, I've got the white bed sitting on the frame, it's just sitting there. I'm gonna get the black bed put onto the carcass that's going to the scrap yard, because the black bed's no good. And then I'll spin this truck around, back it into this space, and then my welder will be able to reach those captured nuts so I can get them welded in. All right, great. We were able to get our captured nuts tack welded back to the bed. We're able to get the remaining pieces of the bolts out from cutting off the heads. I just welded a nut to what was sticking out, and then once the captured nut was tacked in place, I was able to just back them out with the impact. See right there, we got that one tacked around the outside edge again, held in place. Same with the one up here, tacked around the edge and held in place. Everybody, well, it really fought me for that last little bit going back together, but the new bed is on. Well, new to this truck. Bolted down tight, lights are all working, everything where it's supposed to be. All right, well, everybody, that's it for this video. Should have a happy customer. I'm sure he'll be here sometime tomorrow to pick it up. But we got the new to him bed put on. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better. It actually has a bed floor. The other one did not. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, hit that subscribe button. And until then, we'll see you later.